Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we're going to be talking about, well, people not being too happy when it comes to the PlayStation Plus, the PlayStation Plus subscriptions, the PlayStation 4 being outdated, and well, just the overall vibe. So as we've kind of touched on this in a separate video throughout the past week or so, the PlayStation 4 is kind of finally being phased out. And we've had the same thing happen too as well with other things like the Xbox and, obviously the Switch at some point will most likely be phased on out, although the current Switch and Switch 2 is a little bit on the weird side of where it's kind of phased together, kind of how the PS4 and PS5 has been. But right now people are getting upset. People are canceling their PlayStation Plus subscriptions. People are actually kind of what we alluded towards on when the news first dropped, kind of assuming of like, hey, I'm a PlayStation 4 user and why do I want to go and pay a subscription fee and pay every month if I'm not even getting extra benefits? And that is a pretty valid cause. So we're going to go talk about this on this video, so make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. And as well, a quick reminder, we have still been in like this weird filler mode over here as we're getting a lot of cool stuff all set up with like editors and new things. So keep in mind, and thank you guys so much for the patience on the videos. We'll get way better videos probably in the next, I'd say 2 weeks or so. I'll give myself a deadline for that. So be excited. So subscribe here if you guys are new. All the affiliate links are down below. We're going to be also checking out Kingdom Come Deliverance as well, maybe on the second YouTube account or maybe on Twitch too. Both are linked down below. So subscribe and follow both tonight, and I appreciate y'all for watching. So let's go and dive into this news. We also have some Xbox news as well, although it's not as big of a deal. So first and foremost, guys, if you guys kind of missed this, we had this news that Sony has now been official. This is a few days ago. This is kind of like the reaction of it now that we've had a few days for the community and the gaming sphere to kind of digest it, saying that Sony was cutting PS4 games from the PlayStation Plus as of 2026. So right this second, the next year, it's not the biggest deal. If you're still on the PS4, totally fine. If you have your PlayStation Plus subscription, you will still be getting PS4 games if in the future after 2026. Still weird to even say that. I'm still not used to 2025 as of yet, even still, but at least it's a better number. But as we're looking through all this, we're just waiting to see what's PlayStation's plan. Like, what are they going to do? How are they going to go and kind of, I guess, make up the value that's lost? And that's where some people are getting upset. They feel like them, if they are PlayStation 4 users, their value is not going to be there. And there still is a substantial amount of folks that are still on the pure PS4. Like, we have millions upon millions of folks that probably still have not up to the PS5. And although it has been like almost 5 years now, you probably should update sometime soon. Once again, I always try to say, like, sometimes the budget, sometimes you're just a dad and you're just out there not, just don't got the money for it. Maybe just not a priority. Maybe you're a kid without a job, where I understand completely. But I also understand where sometimes that draws the limit. Sometimes people don't want it. And with all the PS4 games going away, that means if you have a current PS4, well, you can't get the PS5 games. It's just as simple as is. Like Ratchet and Clank, you can't play the game. And that's why a lot of people are both happy and sad that a lot of these PS4 games like God of War or Horizon were available. Because if you had a PS4, you were able to both play the game. Simple as that. But that leads to a lot more folks being like, well, if I am still a PS4 gamer, well, is this even really worth it for me? Is it even a good vibe? And I want to hear your thoughts. Like, I'm one of those people, my high level for this, and hopefully not a hot take, I do think it's good to move on. We've talked about this before. I think it's fine. The PS5's been out for a while, and they still have a whole another year for it. And I've mentioned on prior, if you are a PS4 PlayStation Plus subscriber, you can still redeem the games to like your PlayStation Network account. And although you won't be able to go and utilize it and play it, whenever you do upgrade to a PS5, PS5 Pro, PS6 in the future, you will still be fine. But obviously that is somewhat maybe bad for some folks. But we have also had other things too, like the Xbox 360, or if you guys remember the Nintendo stores, the 3DS stores. At a certain point, they do go offline. It is what it is. Like, there's at certain points where, and as much as I don't want this to ever happen, old school games like Halo will eventually go offline. Old school Call of Duties will eventually go offline. They'll have a game that has 100 people playing it, and although an indie game would love that, if you're Call of Duty or these big companies, it may not be worth it for the server cost to have a 100 player, 80 player type style game. Look at Concord. That game had like 40 people. Is it even worth it at that point? No, the game's done so. Or if Destiny ever gets to that point, it might actually get shut off. Look at the Destiny 1 servers. Once they made the second game, they kind of shut it down over time, and that's just how it is. And even, like I said, even Xbox has done this, so it's not a pure PlayStation issue. Although people are calling PlayStation out themselves. Because if you guys go look on Twitter, we can kind of see this is like IGN's tweet of the news we covered a few days ago. So the PS4 games will no longer be a key benefit and will only be occasionally offered for PlayStation Plus monthly games and game catalogs starting as of January 26, Sony has said. And like this is where it gets a little bit more in the mainstream. Like I can kind of go through some of my comments and reception from my own YouTube channel or from my Twitch or Twitter, and people were kind of in that same boat. Like an 80%, that's fine. I have a PS5. It's not the biggest deal. Not like, oh, I'm okay with it. And then, of course, some people still lingering on the PS4 were rightfully upset. And those are the people that are canceling this right now, too, as well. Saying, what? Why? I was just starting to get into PS5 coming from PC, and I love all the cool games on premium. Basically toning this down and making things on the lower end. Some other things, too, as well, saying, and this is where some of the cancel stuff over here, with at least, like, I mean, this is just from an IGN tweet, not to PlayStation itself, saying Sony is addicted to L's. Cancel my subscription. And they are doing everything in their power to let me know I made the right call. I was debating about going back one day, but this killed it. Ooh. So this is like a weird one, because like I said, if you're like a PS4 user, I understand. Like if you are a PS4 user, leave your thoughts down below. I'd want to read them. But at the same time, as a PS5, and this has been a long debate, like we've had months on this, I even touched on this in the prior video on the same topic, where like people want to go next gen. I like next gen. I like the graphics leap. I like the standard being raised. And of course, like not everyone can afford it. Yes, completely understand. I hope every word that comes out of my mouth seems like it. But yeah, like at a certain point, we have to make this leap. And this has, I think, been a very generous leap. This is over 5+ years of the PS5. And on top of that, like I mentioned, you could still go and pick up these games. Like if you have a PlayStation Plus subscription, you can still go get it. But it does lead to the fact that people are not happy. Because even if you, so the big issue is some of the multiplayer games, you do need to go and have a PlayStation Plus subscription. Like to do certain things on your console, you do need to have the PlayStation subscription. And that's where I think where the value goes down a lot. And like rightfully so, it's kind of like an iPhone. Like you could still have an iPhone for 5 years, 6 years, but eventually it will taper off. Eventually it will get taken out. And eventually it's just not a vibe. You know what I mean? That is what it is. Am I happy about that? No, but that's just how technology is. It advances, it gets better, it gets optimized, it gets really costly and also a lot harder to go and like basically keep and maintain old platforms as well. It does make sense. Like I logically get it. But at the same time, I also have my heart out for a lot of PS4 users because there's a lot of circumstances that make people in that same boat. I was a day one PS5 owner. Like that's fine. Like I don't care about this for my own personal sake. But I've saw a lot of stories and adults or even my own personal friends. Like I went to high school and some people just, you know, got normal jobs and they're not gaming 24/7. They got kids and well, they come home to go maybe play a game for an hour or so. And then after that, they turn off their console and they go and spend time with their family. Now I'm a degenerate and I'm still not married. If any single women are out there, hit me on up, although probably don't because I do think most of my YouTube audience is men, which I appreciate nonetheless. A lot of my Twitch audience is women too, so it's kind of a weird contrast if you guys ever do hang on my Twitch stream. There's a lot of women over there. Don't know how and don't know why, but YouTube is a bunch of bros, so shout out to the boys out there. I always feel like I need more men in my life. That sounds weird, but you know what I mean. Like I feel I got a lot of good boys, like someone like Cam out there. I have some of my good friend like Guy, like some of my old school streamer friends or dudes. So I know a lot, obviously, but I'm kind of ranting and tambling. But like it's kind of a weird vibe. So anyway, thank you for all the boys out there. Thank you for the women if they're watching this YouTube channel too as well. Shout out to you. But anyway, sorry, a little side tangent. When it comes to stuff, everyone has their own circumstances going on. But we don't really know like where their money's gonna go and how they want to even spend it. And I understand this, but people are mad. Like I've seen other people out there on Twitter, on social media, saying that they're just done. Like with the price increases, they just don't get the value off of it. It's like if Amazon takes away Amazon movies, Amazon music. It's not the biggest deal, and some people may not be subscribed to Amazon Prime just for that, even they had like Twitch subscriptions for it, et cetera, et cetera. But at the same time, I don't know, like it does take away the overall value and people are upset about it and rightfully so. So that's why I'm making the video because I want to hear your thoughts and comments and everything down below because it is becoming a slightly bigger issue and I'm seeing a little bit more media like a storm over there floating around. Also kind of wind this down too, we actually are having more Xbox games coming over here on the PlayStation system. This will probably tone down to lesser big news soon, mainly just because it's becoming such a commonplace, common theme, which I'm into that, like I like this coming. But in case you guys are curious, Age of Mythology, Retold, and Age of Empires 2 are now coming to PlayStation, which is our Xbox titles, and I love them. I'm a big RTS strategy guy myself. So real-time strategy games will hit Sony's console this year alongside the launch of the new expansions for both titles, which are currently available on the Xbox and PC. And PS4 players will be able to play Age of Mythology Retold when the game's released on March 4th. followed by Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition this spring. I'm delighted to share that we are giving fans more choice to play where they want to by bringing more of these games to PlayStation, and I'm all for it. So give me your thoughts and comments on everything down below. Subscribe if you guys are new. Check out the Twitter and Twitch down below in case you guys want to go and hang out and chill for Kingdom Come Deliverance, and I appreciate y'all so much for watching here in the first place.